Hi, I'm Kim and I'm the American to Britain. I wanted to do an introductory video before I started posting the other things that I'm working on, so you got to know me and what I'm all about. I was going to do this inside, but today we ended up having a lovely afternoon, and they've said that this has been the coldest spring in the last 50 years. So if it's any consolation, it normally isn't this bad, and usually we've had summer by now. In fact, last weekend I spent the entire Sunday on my patio, and I was sunburned, and I don't think that my husband had any sympathy for me, but I was too excited and I needed some vitamin D. So I come from Denver, Colorado, but I spent 10 years in the Air Force. My first duty station was Minot Air Force Base, where I worked on the B-52 for 5 years. While I was there, we were deployed to RF Fairford during Operation Iraqi Freedom, and then also Guam. Then I spent a year at Osan Air Base, Korea, working on the F-16s. And then I was stationed at RAF Mildenhall, where I worked on the C-130s. And while I was there, I went to Cyprus, Sicily, in Norway. I got out in 2009, but I was okay with that. I got my associates, bachelor's, and master's, so I felt like I needed something else, and currently working on another bachelor's in history, and that's become a new interest of mine because of the blog I've been writing. And I'll be honest, it hasn't been really easy for me to settle in England after being out of the Air Force, because a lot of veterans don't really adjust anyways, but to be in a foreign country, I think, was an added complication I didn't need. At the moment, I live with my husband, John, in Cambridge. He's English, and we met while I was in. And with my dog, Dusty, and my cat, Ruddles. I'm sure you'll see Dusty in a video or two because he's my running partner. My husband had an accident with some machinery, and he's no longer able to run. So Dusty does the running for me. In fact, he trained with me for my first marathon last October, which I did in 4 hours and 2 minutes, which I was very excited about. I walked after 20 miles, but I was okay. It was my first one, and probably my last, unless I get into London Marathon. Like I said, so I started writing this blog because I was learning a lot of things about living here, which I thought I already knew, because I was married to a British guy, English, and also I did a lot of stuff in England. I volunteered and things like that, but when I got out, I really realized that I didn't know anything, and then I realized how frustrated other people must be. I have somebody to ask questions to, but not everybody else does, and sometimes we don't mean to ask questions and be rude, but we are. But that is where my blog comes from, because I want you to know all the answers so that you can enjoy and love England as much as I do. And I think a lot of that comes from knowledge, information, and communication. So I'm really excited. It was actually John's idea that I start doing these videos, and actually it made perfect sense, because then I could do videos on things that I was really struggling to write about, because sometimes you can write things out, but some things you just need a visualization, So I have been cycling through the middle of Cambridge with cameras on top of my helmets and doing some driving videos, and I've been contacting other people because I'm not the subject matter expert for anything. The only expert I am is that I'm an American, I live in Britain, and I'm interested. So I hope that you really enjoy these videos. I hope that you feel comfortable writing me about any questions that you have. I work and live in Cambridge, so cycling is a big part of my life. It's a lot easier to get around Cambridge on a cycle, and you don't have to pay for parking either. But hopefully you enjoy it. Contact me if you have any ideas or questions, and hopefully I will be able to help you and to make you love Britain the way I love Britain. And again, that's me, the American to Britain.